Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. How are you all doing? I hope you're doing well. Today is the first kind of official video which is going to be going up on my channel surrounding all things wedding. I thought today we could sit down and just basically give a recap of what's going on, where we're at, what we're planning to do, and basically how it's going. So I realized that obviously the start of this year has been very encompassed around filming the Florida vlogs and getting them up on this channel, but now they are done and dusted. We are now moving on to wedding content for the next chunk of the year, really, because it is coming around. It's super quick. I can't quite believe how fast the week's going. It's a little bit scary if I'm honest, but honestly this warmer weather and sunshine just makes me more excited for the wedding more than anything. And we're kind of getting to that point now where it's just like final touches, majority of the stuff is booked and sorted, so it's more so now just about how far we want to push the wedding day and what we want to do, all them extra touches and stuff like that, which obviously, as you can imagine, I absolutely love. That is probably my favorite bit of this whole wedding planning process so far. So yeah, I'm very aware I have not really explained anything that is going on. The fact that we're getting married, I haven't really talked about it. I know I've mentioned it here and there, but I haven't actually done like a sit down, run through, talk through video. So I thought we could do that today. I've got my phone next to me so I can kind of get some inspiration from Pinterest about points I want to talk about. But I'm basically just going to give you a rough breakdown of what we've done, where we've booked, what we're planning on doing, and how it's going. So I guess the best place to start is at the beginning maybe. If you guys have been following along on my channel for a while, you might know that Callum and I actually got engaged 5 years ago, almost 5 years ago. We got engaged in August 2019 when we went on our trip to Florida, which I think was actually one of my first videos I popped up on here. Our 2019 trip to Florida. It wasn't like a vlog, it was more just like a montage of the few clips that I had got. But basically that was the first time I went to Florida with Callum. Callum and I had been together for about a year at that point, but basically this was his first time in Florida, and about 3-4 days into the trip he actually proposed when we were in the World Showcase at Epcot. We were at the Italy pavilion, and yeah, it was just amazing. Such a shock. I literally had no idea, and yeah, been so excited. It's fair to say like it has taken us 5 years to get to this point where we finally booking in a wedding day, planning a wedding, because honestly we just didn't really know what we wanted to do. We were both still so young. We were very happy just being in the engagement bubble. We obviously really wanted to buy a property. That was like our main focus over a wedding. And of course we had the brilliant COVID in between it as well, so that did put a pause on any kind of wedding plans we did have in the mix anyway. So yeah, basically that's why it's taken this long. We've been back and forward. Part of us wanted to go abroad for a wedding, then obviously COVID came in, so we kind of didn't want to do that anymore, but we didn't know exactly what we wanted to do. We knew we didn't want a very traditional wedding. We wanted to break a few rules. We wanted to do something that felt really authentic and unique to us. And I think it's so easy with weddings to feel like they have to be a certain way, but if anything, that's something we can thank COVID for, because COVID kind of taught us that, you know, you can do these different things. Anything can be allowed for a wedding nowadays. Literally anything goes, which is honestly amazing. A lot of venues and people and mindsets have had to bend and change, especially around the circumstances we've seen in the past few years. So that did really help us when it came to kind of thinking about, right, this is something we should probably do. Once we got our flat at the end of 2022, we obviously renovated it, and then we really started thinking that actually planning for a wedding, have something else to kind of work towards too, would be really nice, and it kind of seemed about time to do that as well. Earlier in the year, in 2022, we did go to Dubai with Callum's family, and that is actually where we bought our wedding rings. Dubai is really well known for their jewelry, their diamonds. That is actually where my engagement ring is from as well. Callum's family went out to Dubai and he got it made out there while they were out there, which is just honestly so incredible. So we thought that actually we would get our bands bands, our wedding bands made out there as well, so it just kind of matched, and it was such an experience to go and get them done. So we did have the trip booked to go in 2022 to obviously get our wedding bands. Had no talk of a wedding then, but we just thought as we were going out there it was probably going to be our only opportunity where we could get it done. So we got them done, and we've kind of obviously kept them stored away in a safe place. But that was kind of like one big tick off the list. Like, we knew we had the wedding rings, we just needed to now plan everything else. We didn't have a date, we didn't have any idea of a wedding, we didn't know what we wanted to do. And then probably around a whole year later, so in around July 2023 I think, I saw on Facebook that there was a wedding dress shop that was local to me having a massive sale on a load of their clothes. And I sent it to my mum and my nan, and I said, you know what, I think this would be really good to go to just get an idea of the shape of the wedding dress I would want. It's a massive sale. They were literally like selling over £1,000 dresses for like £200–300 each, and I was like, I think this is going to be a really good thing to go. If you guys know me, I absolutely love a bargain, I love a deal, and I just really loved the dresses that they were showcasing as well. So we decided to do this kind of a day out, and it was such an amazing experience. It was such a gorgeous bridal shop. The ladies were so lovely there, and we were the only ones in the shop at the time of an appointment. We got to try on as much as we wanted. I think we had an hour slot, but we were there for 2 hours in the end. I probably tried on about 12 dresses maybe, and the ladies there were just so informative and helpful. They were telling me about my shape, like what dresses would work, what wouldn't. As soon as we found a style we liked, they pulled out more, and we actually ended up buying a wedding dress at the end of that day, which I completely was not expecting to do. Obviously, like I said, this was just kind of go for a look and see what kind of style I liked. We didn't have anything else booked in, but then once we bought that wedding dress, we were like, oh, okay, right, now we've got to book in a wedding because we've bought a dress, we've got rings, like it's time to go. So initially I planned to book in my wedding for next year because I've got a thing about numbers. I love certain numbers, and next year Cam and I would have been together for 7 years, and 7 is my favorite number. I thought that would work. We were going to get married in July, so it would have gone 7, 7, 2, 5, and then 2 and 5 add up to 7, so it would be 3 consecutive 7s, which means luck. Very off-piece. That's very confusing. So we were originally planning to get married next year because we thought, you know, with only a year, there's probably not going to be enough availability for vendors and stuff like that. We're going to really struggle to get the date we want. But anyway, we actually found a venue we really liked. It was the first venue we visited. We only visited 2, 3 venues in total, I think. We didn't go to a lot of places at all, and they actually had availability the next year, so this year 2024, on the day we wanted, but obviously just a year in advance. So it wouldn't mean that it'd be 2025, it would have been 2024. We would have only been together 6 years, but I thought, you know what, if it's available, like, let's just start planning. Like, 2 years does seem like a very long time. Who knows what's going to happen in 2 years? Let's just have something to look forward to and let's go for it. Like, we've waited this long, we've had COVID, we've had loads of setbacks, loads of things happening. Like, let's just do it. It's time to do it. So we actually booked in for a following year. Callum was all for it. He just wants to get married as soon as possible, really. So we actually ended up booking for a year's time instead of 2 years' time. So obviously that cut our deadline down by quite a lot, a whole year, literally half. But that is what we have decided to do. We've got about 10 weeks till the actual wedding day this year. We are getting married in July still, and yeah, time is just flying by. The venue we've chose is absolutely beautiful. It is basically, there's 2 wedding venues on this site. One is a massive like manor house, which you can have, and then the other one is the gardens of obviously this massive mansion house thing, but they're now made into 2 venues. There used to be 1 big venue, now they're 2. So we actually are going to these gardens. They're completely like brick walled in. It's really safe and secluded. It's about 3 acres of land, I think, or something crazy. It might even be bigger than that. It's got every game under the sun you can imagine. They've obviously got like the massive Jenga and Connect 4 in the garden, but they've also got like a basketball court, volleyball, balls, croquet. They've got a massive like spider web jungle gym thing, chess. They've got a mini golf course. Like, there is so much going on there, and that's something that really we were really interested in, because we've got a lot of children within our family and we've been to the weddings where they've only got a DJ there. I mean, we get up for a dance now and then, but we're not massive dancers. We wouldn't spend the whole night dancing away. So the fact that there's so many different activities there, people can kind of go off and do their own thing, I just really love that idea. And that people could start making memories with their family and kind of have things to look back on when they think about our wedding. I just really love that idea, especially if you get a beautiful sunny hot day like today. So moving on to the actual wedding day, our sort of plan for the wedding day, we are actually going to be getting married quite early in the morning. We're not actually getting legally married on our wedding day. We are going to go to the registry office a few days before, because literally it was about 4 times the price to have the registrar brought to the venue to do the same service than it would be if you went to a registry office and got married there. And it's just nice, it gives us an extra day to celebrate. We are just taking my mum and dad, Callum's mum and dad, and my nan and my granddad to be our witnesses on the registry office day. And I think it's going to be really special. We're going to go out for lunch after, and then I think Callum's mum's doing an open house for everyone else to come and join, like the rest of our families afterwards, which is just going to be really nice. It's going to kind of signify the start of the wedding weekend. So I'm actually really looking forward to that too. I should probably make a whole separate video about registrars, registry office, kind of that process, because I couldn't find a lot of information on it at all. And I don't know if every council's website is the same, but the Dorset Council website, especially for marriages, is just so difficult to navigate. It has been a complete whirlwind, but we have got there. We have done our giving notice of marriage, which you've got to do. So literally the only thing left is to go and get married on the date that we've booked in a few days before the wedding, which I cannot believe. So obviously, because we are getting married with a registrar in the registry office a couple days before, we have actually asked Callum's older sister to be the registrar for our blessing that we're being given on our wedding day. And that is so exciting. We really liked this because it means we can just really personalize the ceremony and make it really our own and make sure it's exactly how we want it to be. She was so honored when we asked her, we wondered whether you wanted to do this for us, and she's super excited. She's literally like pulled together a presentation of what she could potentially say that I need to go through. It's on my list to go through, but yeah, she's so excited, which obviously in turn makes us so excited about it all. So the plan for the ceremony on our wedding day is actually we're still going to have the ceremony quite small. There's only 30 of us going to the ceremony, so that's my immediate family and Callum's immediate family, and then some very close family friends to us. It equals 30 people, 29 people to be exact, and 8 of them are children. So 21 adults, 8 children, and then obviously Callum and I are within the adults as well. So it's a very small bunch of people, but they are all the people that mean the most to us, we spend the most time with. It just made sense. I wanted it to be very intimate, like a very special occasion. I wanted people to be there, but I also didn't want it to be overwhelming. I want it to be about us two, and a special moment just shared with a very special group of people. So that's what we're doing. Again, we're going to try and get all our nieces and nephews and children involved in the ceremony in some way as well, which is going to be so cute. And then obviously after the ceremony we're going to do a toast, and we're going to go and have our wedding breakfast. Again, a wedding breakfast just for the 30 of us, a sit down meal where we're obviously then going to give speeches as well. This is all going to be very early afternoon. I think we're going to get married about 11 AM, so we'll probably sit down for food about 12:30 at the latest. And then in the afternoon from about 3 o'clock onwards, I think, we are actually opening the invite out to invite everyone else. So we've got around another 100 people coming. This is obviously like more extended family, friends, just everyone else who wanted to enjoy our special day with us. So they will be arriving in the afternoon. We are going to go off and hide, and then we are going to, once everyone's arrived, or majority of people have arrived, we've given them a time to arrive by, we are going to come out and obviously surprise everyone, show everyone what we're wearing, what we look like, give a little welcome speech, and then basically tell everyone to just go and explore the gardens, go and have fun, and go make memories. Basically, we have got some really exciting additions for this part in the day as well. We have got an up close magician coming, which I am obsessed with. He is absolutely amazing. I've seen him a couple times at a few events, and we've actually, well, I think we've got a good relationship with him. He's such a nice guy, and he's coming. He's actually going to be there all day. He's coming to do up close magic. He's going to teach the children how to do some easy tricks, which I just thought was so cute. And yeah, he's absolutely incredible, so I cannot wait for him to come. And then for food at this time as well, we are actually doing a grazing table situation. I'm really interested in these. Whenever I see them online, I think they look absolutely amazing. This video is actually going out first, but last week we had my bridal shower and we gave it a go, kind of seeing whether we could make this, and we did an amazing job. I was so impressed with it, and that's kind of helped us. I think the next 10 weeks is literally just going to be trialing different grazing board methods, seeing how we can kind of prepare it but then put it back in the fridge and then just get it out just before we need to lay it, sort of thing. Obviously on the day I won't be doing the grazing board, but between Callum's family and my family, we are doing all the food ourselves. But it's super exciting. I really cannot wait to see that massive grazing board for 100 people all come together. So obviously you spoke about the ceremony, which is kind of like the first part of the day. The second part of the day is this afternoon where everyone arrives, and we've got the grazing board and the magician, and then obviously we've got the evening. So this is about from like 7 p.m. onwards, I would say. Obviously a DJ is coming in, which we cannot wait. He is really lovely as well. He's actually related to the magician, so yeah, they're just a really good bunch. And then we are also getting casino tables in the evening. Now these aren't obviously proper casino tables. You're not dealing with real money. They give you like a token at the start of the night, which gives you like £100, for example, and then obviously you can play with it and spend it how you want, and the winner who has made up the most money at the end of the night will get a prize, basically, which I have already created as well. And then there's going to be more evening snacks as well. I think I'm going to do a crisp wall as well, because I really love the idea of that, all with retro crisps. And then after that is the end of the day. So there is loads going on this wedding day. We are going to be so tired by the end of it, but I am so excited. I think when you plan a wedding, you've got to decide kind of what you want to spend your money on. Obviously weddings are very expensive. You've got to kind of prioritize what is most important to you. For Callum and I, it was really that entertainment factor, especially because we have such varied age range in our wedding. We are inviting children, we are inviting obviously grandparents and everyone in between, so we really wanted there to be something that everyone could kind of enjoy, have a bit of fun with, which is why obviously we've got the magician, the casino tables, all the games in the garden. That's where we wanted the experience to be. Whereas obviously some weddings invest a lot in the food, some invest a lot in the clothing and the dress and the hair and the makeup. It's just what's important to you and what you want your wedding to be. As I mentioned at the start of this video, I was actually going to open up my Pinterest board and show you some inspiration, but I think I'm actually going to save that for another video because I've already been chatting for 25 minutes. So I actually think I'm going to move that over to the following video where we can properly deep dive into exactly what we're planning on doing with the space, our kind of themes and colours and vibes, and we can properly like dive into that here. Otherwise it will just be rushed in this video. But as I kind of mentioned at the start, if you guys are planning a wedding, if any of you are getting married very soon or even thinking about getting married soon, the main takeaway that I would say, which so many people told me when I started planning, but it's so easy to say but really difficult to kind of be strong enough to hold and stand by, you've just got to do exactly what you want and trust in yourself that it's the right decision, trust in yourself that it's what you and your partner want to do. And no matter what you do, people will say stuff, people will give you their opinion, tell you kind of what it's tradition to do, but ultimately as long as you know that that's what you want to do, when it comes around to it, it will all fall into place and people will then understand it and people will then think it's amazing. Just sometimes the process, when it's all in your head and you're trying to explain it, sometimes people don't understand exactly to the point what you're trying to explain in the same depth that you do. Most of the time people don't mean it being rude or nasty or just to upset you. Most of the time people don't realise they're even coming off as like a little bit offensive to your wedding. But honestly, all I can say is go with your gut. Don't try and please everyone. Ultimately, the only people you need to please is yourself and your partner. And if anyone's got a problem with it, they shouldn't be coming to the wedding, they shouldn't be in your life, they shouldn't be, if they don't know you, if they don't know this is what's going to make you happy, they shouldn't be there at the very beginning of it. I really feel like weddings help show people's true colours, and it's so interesting just to see what people say when you say certain things. We have done a lot of stuff that's different. I'll obviously touch on it more in the next video, but I just know when it's the wedding day, people think it's amazing and people have a good time. It's just sometimes very, very difficult to get there. So the main point is just trust yourself. You know what you want for your wedding. You know what's going to look good. You know what's going to portray yours and your partner's love story the best. And just try and enjoy it as well. And if anyone says anything that doesn't make you happy, that kind of annoys you, when you put so much thought and planning into what you want to do, you're excited, you share what you're doing with someone else, and they shoot it down straight away, just try and not take offense to it. Just think to yourself that you know it will be flipped around when the day comes. I feel like that's ended on a little bit of a sour note, but it is honestly, like I said, just something that is picked up so regularly when you're planning a wedding, especially from my personal experience, but also so many people that I've spoke to, so many brides have warned me that sometimes when you're planning a wedding, you just feel like you can't do anything right. And honestly, it's your day. You can do whatever you want to do, and that's not just for the wedding, that's for your hen party, any events leading up to it, anything that's to do with your wedding day or leading up to your wedding day, after your wedding day, can be completely what you want to be. There is no cookie cutter to what should be expected of you, no cookie cutter to what other people have done. It's about you and what you want to do and what's going to make you happy, what memories are going to live in your mind, not something you're going to look back on and just think was not you, why did I do that, that was all wrong, I didn't enjoy that. You don't want that. You want to have a wedding day which is totally 100% you and your partner, and you just look back on with such happy and lovely memories. So I hope that wasn't too much of a downer, but I just thought it's important to highlight because so many people tell you wedding planning is amazing, which obviously it is. We have had a really fun process, but there's also points of it which aren't so fun. And like I say, when you are a bride, you're so invested in it. I know obviously grooms as well and whoever else is planning a wedding can be super invested in the details as well, but you can understand it so clearly in your mind and be so invested in the details and really excited to share what you're doing, and people just completely don't get it and just say stuff that aren't the right things to say, and it can just be really, really difficult. It's a hard pill to swallow, and the more obviously things you do, the more it builds up to the wedding day, the less and less you want to share because you're scared, because sometimes you just don't need other people's opinions. But anyway, 10 weeks to go till the wedding. I am super excited. Like I said, we are now at that level where it's all just exciting things. I'm going to tune back in with you next week when we are going to go through my Pinterest board. I'll show you all the things that I've done, what my visions and plans are, and yeah, then we're actually going to start rocking into actual prep, bridal showers, counting down, all of that good stuff. So I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. I loved sitting here and speaking to you. I hope it wasn't too rambly. If you are a soon-to-be bride or soon-to-be getting married, please let me know down in the description what kind of your plan is, how long you've got to your big day. I would love to speak to you guys. I haven't got many friends who are brides, so anyone that I could speak to in the comments, I would really, really appreciate. Thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far to the very end, I really, really, really appreciate it. Remember, just do whatever the hell you want. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks, and I will see you very, very soon in the next video. Bye. Be educated, but I'm so frustrated.